ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Loyola Academy for another great Chicago Catholic League matchup. Tonight we have a great one for you between the Loyola Academy Ramblers and the De La Salle Meteors. And this one should be a very hard-fought game today, Tilmont, shouldn't it? I'm Andy Payton here, joined alongside Peter Tilmont.
And Andy, we know this is going to be a great one. The size advantage here clearly going to play a factor. We're looking at De La Salle here and just a lot of size. Taller than Loyola. The average height on De La Salle looking just around 6'5", but Loyola, again, we know that the two Kaczynski brothers standing just about at 6'7" out of Sacred Heart, sophomores. We know that they have some good inside game, good outside game. We'll see if that'll play a factor.
Jordan and Bennett Krasinski, they're two sophomores, as Peter just mentioned, for Loyola. But De La Salle, as he also said, has got some height of their own, as Nick Martinez stands at 6'7". He's one of the centers for the team. He's just a junior, too. And then they have a 6'8", Marlo Alaruzzo, who's a senior. So they've got some real size. So Alaruzzo will be an inch taller than the two Kaczynski brothers tonight. And last week, if you joined us for the Jesuit Cup, Loyola Academy faced off against St. Ignatius. And St. Ignatius College Prep had a big guy named Muda. And Loyola had really struggled when the two Kaczynski brothers were not in the game early to give them the size advantage.
Yeah, and I think part of that might have been just nerves, Andy. Obviously on a big stage like that, the Winchester Arena downtown at DePaul University, and no doubt definitely nerves played into that, but again, we have seen size kill them. The New Trier game, as we know, and the Notre Dame game as well, they had a problem with the big man, and we'll have to see how it plays out. The Ramblers have been playing quite well down the stretch here.
Yeah, they really have. They've been playing some of the best basketball, and if you're a Loyola Rambler basketball fan, you've just got to be thrilled with the schedule we have today. Today we're playing De La Salle here, and tomorrow Detroit Jesuit, a team from Detroit, Michigan, will be coming in to take on the Loyola Academy Ramblers. You can catch us for that one at 4:30 tomorrow. But we do have a great one today, and we'll give you a little idea of what's at stake here today in the Chicago Catholic League Blue standings. Currently, Fenwick leads the Blue division at 5-0. Loyola in second sits at 4-1. But De La Salle is 2-2 on the year in the Chicago Blue, and they are in fourth place right now. So if Loyola can get a win here, this would really be big for them and could push them up to the top here. And possibly when Loyola faces Fenwick on February 16th, that could decide the regular season Chicago Catholic League title. And we'd like to remind you that this year there is no Chicago Catholic League tournament, so at the end of the regular season, whoever is leading is going to win the cup.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting how this game is going to shake out here, Andy, because you're looking at De La Salle's schedule after this. They do have DePaul College Prep. They've been very good in the standings, and then looking ahead, you have St. Rita, St. Ignatius, and Jones, and you have to wonder if maybe this tough schedule down the stretch is going to affect the standings for De La Salle. And then you look at Loyola's standings, and again, as you mentioned, you got the Fenwick game, St. Pat's, Evanston. So some tough teams ahead for both of these squads, but I think they're both up to the challenge. We've been watching the warm-ups here for De La Salle. They look ready. Loyola looks ready. It's going to be a great one here.
And De La Salle really decided to build up their schedule this year in the non-conferences. When Loyola went down to Florida to play a tournament over winter break, De La Salle went all the way out to California to take on a few teams in San Diego, and they had to play some really tough competitive teams. And that is why their record is not as impressive as Loyola's. As they sit with 8 losses, they're only 6-8. But again, their schedule's just been so much tougher. And Loyola sits at 17-3, but Coach Tom Livatino for Loyola has told us several times this week that he anticipates De La Salle to possibly be the best team that they face this year, Peter.
Yeah, and again, I think part of that is the size advantage. You know, all the teams that Loyola has played have been, besides one or two big men, have not been very large. But again, as we mentioned, 6'7", 6'8". Players for De La Salle, it's going to play a factor into how they're going to affect the game here. We know Loyola has tough players. Pat Russell and John Lynch love to anchor down the defense. We have Mouse in the house, Ryan Evans, and we're going to see how they get out here in the early going. I think the way Loyola is going to have to win here is running the floor fast and running it very quickly. Transition game is going to have to be a big part of how they play.
Well, certainly, and again, back to last week's game against St. Ignatius, when Loyola was able to start early and really get on the board quickly, they absolutely took over the game. I mean, Loyola completely dominated St. Ignatius in the first half. And if Loyola can get us down to a groove early, like you just mentioned, I really think this is going to be all Loyola today.
Well, and again, I think they got to get into a groove, but they also got to hold. We saw at the end of the Ignatius game there, they let up a little bit, allowed 2 quick threes, and a near buzzer beater to go in. So while it's key for them to get out strong, they need to finish strong as well.
We're just about ready to get underway here as the players take the last few warm-up shots. Also, we have some great games going around the Chicago Catholic League this weekend, as Fenwick, who we mentioned, stands at the top of the Chicago Catholic League, will be taking on DePaul College Prep this weekend. And DePaul College Prep has shown us to be quite a competitor, as Loyola has split games with them, winning the first one with us. You saw that a couple weeks ago, then unfortunately losing to them in a Martin Luther King Day tournament.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Loyola Academy. My name is Pat Mahoney. I'm the athletic director of Loyola Academy. Our basketball program annually likes to appreciate faculty and staff, and next week is the beginning of Faculty and Staff Appreciation Week. So what better way to kick it off than honoring our teachers tonight. Teachers at Loyola Academy play such an important role in the students' lives. They have such a positive impact on what they do and informing these young men. They support athletics.
So for those of you at home who may sort of be able to hear what our athletic director here, Pat Mahoney, is saying, next week at Loyola is Teacher Appreciation Week. So right now a player on Loyola is going to walk out with a Loyola Academy teacher, and a player actually got the opportunity to ask one of their teachers or someone a part of the Loyola Academy community to walk out with them here. As right now Kevin Cunningham has asked our president, Dr. Ball, to walk out with him. And Kevin Cunningham has had himself quite a year, hasn't he, Peter?
Indeed. Kevin's played some great minutes and obviously started off a little bit cold there in the first 2 games, but managed to find his stride, and we really saw it come to fruition last week against St. Ignatius. Got it going early with a quick 3-pointer there within the beginning few seconds, and truly has played some outstanding basketball, returned just to about his junior year form.
Yeah, Kevin Cunningham could not have played a better Jesuit Cups, folks. He was up against the point guard phenom for St. Ignatius, Carter Higginbottom, and the two had such a great battle junior year, so just a year ago. But this year, Kevin Cunningham stepped up tremendously and completely shut down Carter Higginbottom last week, not allowing him to score a single point, Peter.
Yeah, indeed, and that defense has been the motto for Loyola all year. We've talked about it constantly, the turnover chain that Coach Livatino has implemented, the charge chain, pardon me, that Coach Livatino has implemented again just to show how they want to continue to keep up the hustle and keep up the pace of games and stand strong on defense, which has sort of been a go-to for Loyola this year.
That's right, in the charge chain that Peter is mentioning. If you have not heard about it yet, it is very similar to the University of Miami's turnover chain, where if you get the turnover, you'll get to wear the chain. The Loyola Academy has the charge chain, and the charge chain goes to the player who takes the most charges at the end of the week, and they will proudly get to display the charge chain in front of the whole team and the whole community, Peter.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Pictures are taken, it's posted on Twitter, and I mean, just a great way to sort of celebrate the hustle on the court, and great way to motivate guys to get out there and really try to get it.
And it really has motivated them. So I spoke to Kevin Cunningham. Kevin Cunningham has taken 14 charges on the year. 14, Peter.
Yeah, those are going to hurt, let me tell you. I mean, you see the size of some of these guys coming out to play, and you take a hit like that, man, you're going to have bruises.
And his other senior captain, Peter Megan, has taken 13 charges on the year. They are very excited to get out there and take as many charges as they can. And that part of it is, too, Loyola was not a very physical team last year, and they weren't really getting down low. And the charge chain has really allowed them to get physical, take some charges, and get the ball back.
Yeah, and you can even see the excitement when a charge happens. Hopefully we'll see one tonight of quite a few. you see what happens. The bench goes nuts. The players are, flexing on the ground. They're really excited, and I think that, the crowd really gets excited as well when this place fills up. And again, we got a pretty good crowd here tonight.
So once again, if you're just joining us and you're wondering why the players are running through the cheerleaders here with a teacher, because next week at Loyola Academy is Teacher Appreciation Week. So the players get to ask their favorite teacher to come out and take a picture with them at center court here.
Always good to appreciate the educators, Andy, no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Education, some of the most important things in the world. But also tonight, folks, it's not just about the teachers or this great game we're about to see, but there's a wonderful opportunity here for the Loyola Academy community to get involved in a little girl named Rosie's foundation, that she's raising money for those who lost hair like her. She started a foundation where people like her who have lost their hair, who have suffered, and I'm sorry if we're cutting out here, but she's...
Yeah, and it's really great, Andy. She will ask kids what sort of design they want on their scarf, and she will actually make them herself and then distribute them. Only 7 years old, really fantastic. We're going to pass it over now to our PA announcer, Mike Fellish.
As we will rise for the honorary prayer that is held before each game, and of course the national anthem.
Any spectator not displaying appropriate conduct may be removed from tonight's game. Thank you. At this time, we ask that you please stand as we pray St. Ignatius Loyola's prayer of generosity. Lord, teach us to be generous. Teach us to serve you as you deserve. To give and not to count the cost. To fight and not to heed the wounds. To toil and not to seek for rest. To labor and not to ask for any reward, save that of knowing that we are doing your will. Amen. St. Ignatius of Loyola, please remain standing and face the flag as we have a special presentation of our national anthem. Please welcome LA Weight Leader and Junior Alexandra Petrosi for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fantastic job there by
Our very own
Alex Petrosi.
All right, so once again, welcome to Loyola Academy. If you're just joining us, we have a great one for you tonight. As it is Loyola Academy taking on the De La Salle Metros tonight.
Yeah, Andy, I mean, again, we're going to see the size play a factor in here. We talked about earlier, 6'7", and 6'8" big men coming out of De La Salle, and the difference here between them and our Krasinski brothers standing at 6'7" is sort of the weight advantage. And no surprise if Loyola comes out here trying to run the floor and beat De La Salle with their speed.
Yeah, well, it really should be a great one. As we mentioned, there's so many Chicago Catholic League implications on the line. So if Loyola Academy can win this game and keep rolling here, they're going to have a shot at the Chicago Catholic League title, Peter.
Again, yes, Andy, we were talking about it, and really it is interesting how this game is going to play out. De La Salle, again, has tough matchups coming up. This might be a key win if they can pick it up against Loyola, because they got DePaul College Prep coming up February 2nd and St. Ignatius coming up the 16th. Both of those teams, not lightweights, Andy. They're very much a big contenders in the league.
Captain for Ramblers, a 6-foot guard from Antietam Middle School, shooting from behind the arc. Number 1, Kevin Cunningham.
So tonight's starters for Loyola will be Kevin Cunningham, the senior guard, Bennett Kaninsky, the sophomore, Pete Megan, John Lynch, and Connor Barrett. We've got a great starting lineup with Kaczynski getting the start tonight. Typically he will not start for Loyola. Looks like Coach Livatina wanted to start with some size.
Yeah, and we see it. John Lynch has been a corner for Loyola in the football program, and obviously a very physical player. We'll have to see how this physicality plays out. And you're looking at center court here, and Barlow Alaruzo is making Bennett Kaczynski look quite small.
Barlow Alaruzo, as we mentioned, stands 6'8". He's up against the 6'7" Kaninsky, and Barluzo will get the tip here. We'll go back to Kobe Johnson. So Johnson here for De La Salle.
No surprise, you're already seeing a tough defensive stand from Loyola. They're playing right up in De La Salle's face, really want to make them try to get inside.
So Benton over to Alaruzo, and Alaruzo gets his first points of the night as the big fella makes a big statement here, as we could see a lot of Alaruzo tonight.
Indeed, and I love the press that De La Salle is coming out with here, really trying to make the Ramblers force into mistakes. The problem is the Ramblers, obviously, as we know, once they get the passing going, three-point opportunities open up real fast, Andy.
Kaninsky was in some trouble there, but luckily found Barrett. Cunningham swinging over to Lynch, back over to Cunningham. Cunningham in some trouble, finds Megan down low. Megan ditches it back out to Cunningham. Here's Lynch now. Lynch swings it all the way over to Barrett. So De La Salle showing some really heavy defense here.
And this is going to be a tough battle already. We saw the defense on the Ramblers' end, and now great defense being shown by De La Salle.
What a great little lob pass there by Kevin Cunningham, able to find Kaninsky down there. So we're all tied up at 2 now, as both the big fellas for Loyola and De La Salle are the first to get on the board. Norwood has the ball here for De La Salle. So over to Alaruzo. Alaruzo over to Benton, who's unable to make the shot there, just off. Cunningham with a deep pass over to Barrett in the corner. Megan here on the drive. Won't get it, Kaninsky. And he's going to be fouled.
And I love what Kevin did there, and he tried to push the pace past the press and really get into their own territory and make a great play, and we saw it there.
So here's Bennett Kaczynski here. He's shooting 73% from the line, but he will miss the first one.
And again, in a game with as many implications as we've talked about, Andy, all these free throws are going to be crucial.
Free throws really do seem to come down at the end of really tight games of making the difference on win or loss. But here's Norwood for De La Salle taking it up.
Again, you can already see the aggressive defense by Loyola, really just trying to stay inside and confuse the offense here.
Lindquist has it for De La Salle now over to Norwood. Norwood, double team, back to Penskilla, and Penskilla will have it easy too there, as there was no one around him.
Just a great job on the pick and roll there, no doubt about that.
De La Salle again showing some press, led by Alaruzo. Cunningham able to get it up to Megan, and he finds Kaczynski under the basket. Megan to Lynch. Lynch back out to Cunningham. Cunningham, here's a shot. It's no good. Megan went for it, but tipped it out of bounds there.
Stretch of Alaruzo there, nearly got Kevin Cunningham shot. It's interesting how De La Salle brings up Alaruzo up to the front of the press there, really trying to make sure that they're stretching out and making some tough passes around him.
Really is interesting to see such a tall guy out front on defense. Here's Norwood for De La Salle taking it up. Quinn Pemberton has entered the game for Peter Megan for Loyola. Norwood found Benton, and he hit a quick shot there.
Again, here we go. Quinn Pemberton, we've seen him play great defense for most of the season, and I like what Coach Livatino is doing, really trying to stay on the defensive and wait for his offense to create opportunities.
Pemberton finds Kaczynski on a nice little bounce pass, and Kaczynski's going to connect. So De La Salle leads here 6-5 with about 4:30 remaining in the first quarter. Loyola showing some good defense here.
It's probably the toughest I've seen him play defense all year, Andy, I got to tell you. Nice and tight and really trying to make him go inside. Johnson
took a three there but overshot it. Pemberton going the coast but dishes it out to Barrett for three. It's no good. De La Salle's going to grab a rebound here as Johnson has it now for De La Salle. Johnson over to Alaruzo. Can this kid shoot? My goodness, Alaruzo with a deep three.
And he's talking a little trash out there already. This is going to be a good one here tonight, Andy.
Loyola's been so great with the press break, though, as they immediately get it down the court. Kaczynski finds Lynch. There's a traveling call on John Lynch.
We're going to have to see how this press does for De La Salle as the game wears on. We know that playing with Loyola's been breaking the press so well that running back and forth is really going to take a wear and tear on the players here. So we'll have to see how it continues to play out.
You have to think if Coach Tom White for De La Salle would think to bring his guys back so they don't get so tired, especially with their best player Alaruzo being the main guy on the press.
Oh yeah, and incredible.
Here he is again for three. This time it won't be good. Barrett will grab the rebound for Loyola. De La Salle immediately going back to the press. Cunningham finds Kaczynski across the court. Thought about a three, took it, but just missed. Norwood here for De La Salle on the drive, but he loses the ball. Cunningham is able to pick it up for Loyola. Here's Barrett pushing down the court here, and it will be a foul on Kobe Johnson for De La Salle.
I love the physicality being played here already. Now we're starting to see some of the hustle plays here, Andy. We're kind of seeing some timid basketball, great defense, but now the offense is starting to come out. A lot of hustle. I'm loving everything I'm seeing here.
That makes it, that foul on Johnson is just the second team foul for De La Salle today, as the Meteors lead at 9-5. We are just under 3 minutes in the first quarter. Cunningham working the ball around the arc. Megan had Kaczynski under the basket. It was sort of an alley-oop pass there, but Kaczynski wasn't able to make the shot. And De La Salle gets it as a little bit of some trouble down there, and Kaczynski nearly gets a steal.
We're going to have to see. Alaruso just took a seat on the bench, so we're going to have to see how Loyola is going to be able to exploit this. We saw already that lob pass to Kaninsky.
Well, that was certainly it. If Kaninsky, we've seen Kaninsky dunk. We don't know how high he can get up, but that certainly looked like it could have been an alley-oop. Norwood trying to find Benton down low, but it goes in and out of his hands. Loyola's really going to have to capitalize here, as you mentioned, Alaruso being out for De La Salle. Megan's going to inbound to the Cunningham, and De La Salle will only send one man on the press. Loyola able to get out of that one pretty easily, though.
Again, the versatility of De La Salle here. You got David Pinskis now in.
Cunningham on the drive, kicks it to Barrett. Three, yes sir! Connor Barrett for three. Makes it a 1-point game. De La Salle still leads it 9-8.
Connor Barrett's a bad man out there on the three-point line. You cannot leave him open.
Connor Barrett, such an explosive three-point shooter. We saw it last week. He's actually shooting 40% from the three-point area. De La Salle, Jamari Norwood will go up and get fouled. The basket will count. So quickly back to a three-point lead here for De La Salle.
Yes, but don't be surprised. Loyola's going to really try to get out and shoot the three ball if De La Salle's going to leave them open like that again. We mentioned Alaruso on the bench now, really going to cause some mismatches here.
And Norwood's not able to connect on his first attempt. It was a 1-and-1. Loyola grabbed the rebound. 11-8 here. Barrett looking inside to Megan, who kicks it out to Kaninsky. Kaninsky tiptoeing the out-of-bounds lines, but finds a way to get it out to Barrett. Megan here dishes it out to Cunningham, an open three look, and he gets it. Kevin Cunningham for three. We are all tied up at 11, folks, and this has certainly been an exciting first quarter.
Slim assassin getting out there and getting it done early here. I love that Kevin Cunningham's being confident with his shot. We're going to have to see how it's going to play down the stretch here. You cannot leave Kevin Cunningham and Connor Barrett open on the three-point arc. They will beat you.
A missed three-point attempt there for De La Salle. Kevin Cunningham's got it going the other way now. Looks like Kevin's going to reset here. Norwood immediately bringing the defensive pressure. Megan finds Cunningham for another three, and let's go! Cunningham is putting on a shooting performance tonight.
I told you, you cannot leave him up. A slim assassin out here, I got to tell you. He is a shooter and a shooter by trade. Fantastic junior year.
Kevin Cunningham, easily the best three-point shooter on this team, and he's made 58 threes on the year. And Jamari Norwood is going to dribble down the clock to take the last shot of this first quarter as Loyola has taken over the lead 14-11. About 10 seconds remain here. Norwood's going to push it out to Cyclist, but the three is no good for De La Salle. Megan with the last second effort. Nearly went in there.
Well, Andy, end of the first quarter here. And no surprise, the defense started to let up after a few quick couple minutes there, and now we're starting to see the opening of lanes here, and this is where Loyola starts to dominate, where the three-point shot starts to open up, the inside game comes into play then. When defenses start to come out to play the three-point shot, we've already seen Connor Barrett make one, Kevin Cunningham now has two, and no surprise here if De La Salle starts to come out with a little bit of a more aggressive 3-2 defense, or a little bit of a,
I don't know how much more aggressive they can get though with all this press, but I mean, they certainly look tired over in the huddle over there at this timeout.
I tell you,
you mentioned it did really open up on defense, and I'd have to think that has to go with a factor of pressing so hard so early.
Yeah, they really did press hard, and again, Alaruso has just been a staple so far on that press. We'll have to see if he comes back out here to start this quarter. You have to imagine he has to.
I would certainly. It looks like he will come out here, but you'd have to think with Loyola taking the lead.
Yeah, and there was a big momentum shift there at the end with Kevin Cunningham and Connor Barrett making those threes back to back to back. And again, you need a momentum shift here if you're De La Salle. Get Alaruso back out there. They've got David Pinskis. He's 6'6", so bringing out some height here to start it early.
So Megan will inbound the ball here for Loyola to start out the second quarter. As we mentioned, Loyola currently leads 14-11. And Megan's going to get it into Cunningham. Cunningham down back to Megan. Megan over to Barrett. Barrett thought he was going to swing it over to Kaninsky, but didn't. Megan's got it now. Megan over to Barrett. Back to Megan, and they're going to reset.
We're already seeing a different defense here, Andy, from De La Salle. They're coming up and pushing hard on the shooters.
Kaninsky to Cunningham. Cunningham looking for Kaninsky down low. Wasn't able to stay in bounds with it. It's Kevin Cunningham had a deep pass there.
The right matchup, but Kobe Johnson did the right thing, just boxed out Kaninsky and pushed him out to the sideline.
Johnson over to Norwood. Norwood, few dribbles here. Norwood looking to drive, kicks it out to Alaruzo for three, and he gets another one. Barlow Alaruzo showing just how much of a problem he could be for Loyola tonight.
Yeah, he's been very versatile so far, and Loyola hasn't seen much of a versatile big man. Again, most of the big men that Loyola's played have been very much down-low players. Things getting a little chippy here. And Alaruzo, steam engine here early on. Just again, as he gets pulled out, you have to imagine Loyola wants to take full advantage of it.
Here's Cunningham. Cunningham out to Megan. Megan over to Pemberton. Megan in some trouble here on defense. Finds Pemberton to Kaninsky. Kaninsky to Megan. Megan on the drive here. Goes up and it's good, but the basket won't count.
Great job getting the dribble drive in there, no doubt about that. That's the inside game that they have not had so far.
So they're going to call a push there. Number 23, David Pinskus. But Loyola able to find Megan there pretty quick, and they get back on the board.
And they've run that inbounds play before. I think they ran it against St. Ignatius for a quick two. It's very deceptive. They try to run it out on the perimeter and then just a quick inside pass to Pete Mangan.
So Loyola now with a 2-point lead. Norwood over to Alaruzo. Alaruzo back to Norwood to Pinsku. Pinsku on the drive, but he's going to get called for a travel, and it will go back to the Ramblers. You could just see Alaruzo, the size that he had. So he had two Loyola defenders on him, and all he had to do was really just put his hands up, and he was a good 6 inches above their head.
Yeah, I got to tell you, De La Salle is playing with a lot of impatience here as Loyola's gone up, and I think they just need to slow the game down to their pace and let Alaruzo take over.
Cunningham able to find Kaninsky for an easy basket there. Alaruzo doesn't seem to be having much of a defensive presence tonight, though, Peter, as Benton will try a three. Be off the front of the rim there and a fight for the ball. And Loyola will get a timeout.
Tom Levatino is livid. You can hear him screaming from up here, Andy.
That coaches, my goodness, is Tom White for De La Salle is at the half-court line here to meet our referees and give him his 2 cents.
Boy, oh boy, we got a fiery one here. The players have been chippy, but now the coach is really getting into it here. The environment has just escalated in here. We got one boiling.
That's right. The Loyalists just tonight. The Ramblers currently lead 18-14. About 5:42 remain in the first half.
It looks like they were signaling De La Salle ball, but now they're going to signal Loyola ball. Again, you were mentioning Alaruzo not having a big defensive presence, but you got to wonder if that's press.
Absolutely, yeah. He does. As we mentioned, he really is always out there on press, and it could really affect him being able to get down low. But Kaninsky's just had so many easy baskets down low. You'd have to think Coach Tom White for De La Salle might think to maybe shift Alaruzo down low, especially with Loyola having such an easy time with breaking their press.
I'll tell you, Tom White now giving his 2 cents to the scoring table.
A little upset he wasn't able to get Alex Radford in the game. Cunningham's going to take it up for Loyola here. Cunningham to Pemberton. Pemberton over to Cunningham and finds Megan inside and a dish out to Barrett. Barrett back to Cunningham. Cunningham to Pemberton. Back to Cunningham. Boy, they're having some trouble getting inside the arc, but quick find to Barrett for three. He's going to be short though. As Benton will grab it for De La Salle, and Connor Barrett able to come in and get a huge steal there for Loyola.
And that's the hustle they've been talking about all year, Andy. And even when Connor Barrett gets an air ball, don't be surprised. He's going to keep shooting, and they'll make his next one at some point.
Megan found Pemberton, but was nearly steal. Pemberton back to Megan, and he'll get one. As Loyola leads 20-14 now. Peter Megan getting a nice floater. De La Salle working the ball here. Tough defense from Pemberton. And we got a traveling call on De La Salle's David Pinskus.
You know, at the beginning of the game, Andy, De La Salle was playing at their tempo, but now we see Loyola playing at their defensive tempo and really trying to push the ball up and get it inside.
What a defensive play that was there by Connor Barrett. Came out of nowhere to grab that one.
I gotta tell you, he's over in Evanston in the corner, and he just came straight back to 1 minute to get it back.
Went coast to coast on that one, Pete.
I gotta tell you, he's a talented player, very gifted athlete. And don't disregard that air ball, Andy. Frankly, I see him making a few more.
That's right, we mentioned. He's also a hot three-point shooter as Cunningham leads the team in threes with 58 on the year. Connor Barrett has 57 for himself, so he trails by one to Kevin Cunningham. So we may have a new three-point leader by the end of the night.
Yeah, we don't know, but both Kevin and Connor love to put the minutes in here. Coach Levatino likes to keep them out there.
De La Salle showing some heavy press here as Alaruzo and Kobe Johnson were down low on Kevin Cunningham. Megan was able to get into Barrett and find Cunningham to break this press. Pemberton down to Cunningham down low. Cunningham out to Patrick Russell, his first time in the game today. Pemberton over to Megan now. Megan looking for a nice little pass to Kevin Cunningham.
And the right call there, a little bit of a shove, but great job by Kevin Cunningham to just find the open lane, and great pass there at the top of the key by Patrick Russell to get it inside.
They're going to call that one on Alaruzo. Alaruzo sits at 2 on the day. And Jadavion Caldwell will enter the game, who stands at 6'6" and weighs 280 pounds.
That size Loyola has not seen all year, I can tell you that.
Pemberton for 3. Yes, sir! Quinn Pemberton puts Loyola up here 23-14.
And it's raining threes down here in the East Gym, Andy. Cloudy skies tonight, but they weren't predicting rain. I gotta tell you, this is great.
And here's Kobe Johnson over to Jamari Norwood. Let's see what big man Jadavion Caldwell can do.
Looking like they're gonna run a little bit of a pick and roll with him.
And a 3 from the corner here for Alex Radford. His first points of the night. Jadavion Caldwell is a senior for De La Salle.
The referees maybe just trying to get a little bit of a hold on this game after the fireworks there, after the jump ball. A couple of quick impulse calls.
Pemberton's going to inbound it, but it's stolen by Kobe Johnson, who's going to take it to the other end and get the basket there. So Kobe Johnson going coast to coast.
Kobe Johnson only standing at 5'8". Kevin Cunningham stands at just about 6'2", so pretty impressive. The height difference there between the two, and great move, obviously, to just put the shoulder into him and get the N1.
So Kobe Johnson will also shoot one here as he was fouled by Kevin Cunningham, and he's going to connect to make it a 3-point play.
Well, now it's been a tale of two cities, just the shifting tide here.
Loyola working the ball here. Jamari Norwood forcing Peter Megan to travel there. As the Meteors will get the ball here with 3:14 remaining in the first half. It's Loyola 23, De La Salle 20.
And if you're the Meteors, just try to get the lead before the halftime and get some momentum going into the locker room here. If you're Loyola, just hold strong here and keep raining the threes.
Norwood thought about a three there, didn't take it. Here's Radcliffe. Out to Pinsku for three. It's just off the mark. And a fight for the rebound there between Jamari Norwood and Peter Megan. It's going to go with the Meteors as Jamari Norwood's going to inbound it for De La Salle.
Interesting, we're not seeing Javion Caldwell get into the middle there. He was just outside the three-point arc, and you would think that they would try to exploit that size as much as they can, especially against the Kaczynski brothers, who, while tall, just do not have the same size. Actually, Caldwell's going to go take a seat right now.
Caldwell's going to come out of the game here for Clyde Benton. We've seen a lot of him tonight. Norwood's going to find Radcliffe in the corner, but that nearly went out of bounds, and Connor Barrett able to get a steal here from Kobe Johnson. As the pass from Radcliffe were bobbled in his hands, and Connor Barrett was able to take advantage. That's his second steal tonight, Peter.
Yeah, the defense, again, Andy, for Loyola has just been astounding, and they're jumping at every opportunity they see the ball. Like a dog to a bone almost, I got to tell you. I mean, just really going at it.
And here's Barrett's attempt from the free throw line, and he hits the first. Connor Barrett is shooting 80% on the year from the free throw line, as he's got the highest percentage on the team. And he'll get the second. Will extend Loyola's lead to 5. There's 2:30 left in this one. This half. Norwood over to Johnson. Johnson back to Norwood. Norwood out to Radcliffe. Back to Norwood. They're working the ball around the arc here. Loyola showing some great defense. Norwood's going to reset it here.
And again, with 2 minutes left here, Andy, just try to score before the end of the half. No shot clock here in high school basketball, so.
Oh, a nice little move there by Clyde Benton. Radcliffe on the drive here for De La Salle. It's good. And he'll shoot one at the line.
That was a great move there. I got to tell you, the nice little floater's touch at the top there, and great job putting it in there by Rafford.
His first team spinner. Patrick Russell enters for the Ramblers. Redford at line. Ball shot.
So Redford, for the opportunity to have an old-fashioned three-point play here, and he gets it. So Loyola's lead now at 2. Megan's going to take the ball up here for the Ramblers. Megan going coast to coast, but it's blocked by Clyde Benton for De La Salle.
You got to be careful there on the backside. There's always a shadow there, and managed to get the block there.
Megan here, out to Barrett. Barrett over to Lynch, into Megan. Swings it out to Kaninsky. Kaninsky back inside the Megan, over to Lynch. Lynch to Kaninsky. Kaninsky, a jumper here, no good. As little Kobe Johnson will snag the rebound for De La Salle.
Something about the Kaninsky brothers that's, sort of bothered me, Andy, is their hesitation to take a shot. I really think that they need to be more confident shooting. Obviously, only sophomores playing on a varsity team, but not going to get a carry foul there. But again, I just wish they would be a little bit more confident with the ball. So Cunningham back in for Loyola.
And some really heavy defense there from Benton, jumping up and down to keep Megan from throwing that one in. And he nearly had something going there.
Yeah, De La Salle wants to get the momentum in going to the half. Just trying to get a point on the board even, just to get something, some feel-good vibes going into the locker room.
Megan over to Kaninsky. Kaninsky gonna drive, goes up, and gets it. So Jordan Kaninsky getting one here and extends Loyola's lead to 4.
And there's the confidence that we were talking about that's been lacking, Andy. Just taking it himself and making opportunities.
So we are now under 30 seconds here. It's about 22 seconds remain in the first half. And Jamari Norwood is going to dribble down to take the last shot of the first half.
Exactly what De La Salle needs here, Andy.
Norwood, some heavy defense there, and a foul is going to be called on Loyola.
That's probably going to be 2 on Connor Barrett there. Great job on the double team there. Switch.
Coming right at the last second, too, and it was perfect.
Excellent at the time. Almost a steal there, actually, Andy, to be honest with you. If there wasn't too much physicality there, probably would have gotten the ball, but...
There's 4.2 seconds remain. It's into Norwood. Norwood. The last second heave here will be no good, as that'll do it here for the first half as Loyola leads 27-23. Make sure to stick around. We'll be right back with the second half. I'm Andy Payton with Peter Tillmont. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Ramblers. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Tonight, we are joined by a few very special guests. One of our very own alum, Aaron Dowdle, who will introduce us to our very special guest, Rosie.
I am Erin Dowdle, and I'm a graduate of the class of 2009, and I'm lucky enough to work for a charity called Coming Up Rosie's that my friend Rosie is going to tell you a little bit more about.
My name is Rosie. I'm really happy to be here tonight. Thank you for inviting me here tonight. Coming Up Rosies is my charity to help the bald kids smile. We donate canvases, paints, and to the kids at the hospital. Thank you for supporting my mission of making all the bald kids smile. Go Ramblers!
All right, now we're going to have Rosie draw the raffle for Justin Timberlake concert tickets on March 27th. Elizabeth S. If you're not here, we will give you a call. And now we're going to draw for the $100 Visa gift card. Evelyn Benvenuto. Please come on down. Thank you.
The boys and the girls from the Torch Club will be, and student council will be collecting. If you'd like to make a donation to Rosie's project, they'll be around at halftime and after the game. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Coach Briggs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wilmette, Illinois for the second half of IHSA and Chicago Catholic League basketball. I'm your play-by-play broadcaster, Luke Phillips, joined by Peter Schlacks. Special thank you to Andy Payton and Peter Tillmont for a great first half. We are ready to take you through the remainder of the game. If you're just joining us, the Loyola Academy Ramblers lead the De La Salle Meteors 27-23 at halftime. This is a monumental Catholic League game for both teams, but especially Loyola. If they lose today, they'd fall to 4-2 in the conference and likely out of contention for the Catholic League championship. So we are about to get underway. We're under a minute left until we start the second half. And Peter, what do you think has been the key for the Ramblers to build up this 4-point lead in the first half?
I think the defense has looked really good at times and not so good at others. So I think they need to stay more consistent. I think you saw Coach Livatino look a little upset at times, and I think that had to do with that. Sometimes the defense would cause almost turnovers, but then not be able to get their hands on the ball or something like that. So I think if they manage to finish those plays, they're in really good shape.
Ramblers offensively putting up 27 in the first half, which is pretty impressive considering their tendency to slow things down, and they prefer low-scoring games. Last week we saw them defeat Ignatius 37-36, and already in the first half they've got 27 points. That's led by Kevin Cunningham with 6, Bennett Kwasinski has 7, and Connor Barrett with 5. The Ramblers have to watch out, a little bit of foul trouble. They have Kevin Cunningham with 2 fouls, and Connor Barrett with 2 fouls. So the 2 leading scorers on the team, Barrett with 239 points on the year. That's good for about 10 a game. And Cunningham, 262, so about 12 a game for Cunningham. So they combine for most of Loyola's points. They have to be careful here.
Yeah, especially because Loyola seems to live and die by the threes on offense, and those are the 2 best three-point shooters by far.
So here we go for the second half. Loyola 27, De La Salle 23. And an entry pass was poked away by the Ramblers, but Petey Mangan was out of bounds, lying down on the line. So Ramblers nearly exposed, but did a good effort by Mangan, the senior leader, to save the possession here. Here's a jumper off the mark for De La Salle. Offensive rebound keeps the possession alive. In the corner. Now here's Kobe Johnson. Driving is Pinskus. Pinskus gives it up to Jamari Norwood, the 6'0 senior. Directing traffic now. John Lynch guarding him. And here's a 3-ball. It's good. Clyde Benton cuts the lead. 2-point field goal. His foot was on the line as Benton cuts the lead in half.
It was a flat shot. I'm surprised it went in.
Lynch with the ball for the Ramblers. Here's Petey Mangan. Good screen from Bennett Kwasinski. Mangan kicks it out. Lynch back out to Mangan. Here's Lynch. Good bounce pass in the lane. And Kwasinski tried the dunk and couldn't get it to go. De La Salle the other way. And it's a charge. Petey Mangan takes a charge. That's his 14th charge of the season, tied for the team high with Kevin Cunningham, and that's a good momentum shifter. Kwasinski still can't believe that he missed out on an opportunity for an easy 2 points, wanting to dunk the ball. 6'7" sophomore. He certainly has the height and reach to do it.
Yeah, he had the height up there too. His hand was way above 10 feet. He just pushed it a little too far at the back of the rim.
It's out Cunningham now. Over to Kwasinski, back to Cunningham. Looking to shoot, now driving. Nowhere to go. Mangan, ball was tipped. Lynch will swing it around. Mangan left side. Cunningham, fake the backdoor cut. Mangan, reverse layup, and the foul! Peter Mangan with an athletic play. He's got 6 points on the day, and he'll have a chance to make it 7.
He rolled it up behind him. He didn't turn his body or anything. That was an impressive play.
Truly was. Mangan, however impressive that is, his free throw numbers are a little bit below impressive. 21 for 47 on the season as he misses this one. 21 for 48. That's good for 44% from the line. as De La Salle takes it the other way. Here's Johnson. Gets it back to the top of the key, Alaruzo. Corner 3 ball. It's good. David Pinskis has cut the lead to 1 with a corner 3. He's got 5 on the night.
Yeah, De La Salle didn't look like a big three-point team in the first half. They hit a couple, but they've matched that so far this half.
Kwasinski with some room. Ball is tipped, but they're going to call a foul. So he'll head to the line.
Looked like the defender caught a little forearm.
So that's the third foul on Alaruzo, the 6'8" senior, who has 8 points so far today. So that's a big foul. As Bennett Kwasinski attempting his first free throw. A little shooter's touch rattles around it in. Benton into the game for De La Salle. 5:55 left in this third quarter as Kwasinski's second shot is good. He's got 9. As Loyola's lead up to 3 now, 31-28. Norwood gives it up. Pinskis finds Rayford. Skip pass. Benton wants a 3. Benton hits it. We're tied.
Wow.
Benton with 7 as the Ramblers need a bucket here. Kwasinski driving on Pinskis. Finds an opening. Up and in. Bennett Kwasinski with a strong move, and he's into double figures.
Decided to go with the layup instead of the dunk there.
It's quickly answered. Jamari Norwood. 33 all. 5:11 left in the third quarter. Then a huge Catholic League matchup. Mangan now for the Ramblers. Senior John Lynch. Back to Mangan, driving left side. Was promptly fouled. Helped up. A show of kindness from Norwood. As Jordan Kwasinski will grab his brother Bennett, and Patrick Russell will grab his former football teammate John Lynch. Those two came to the team after the football season. Not necessarily big scorers, but they have been locked down defenders, and Coach Livatino loves the work ethic and leadership that they've been able to provide. So here they will inbound as Mangan controls left wing. Mangan driving, kicks it out to Kwasinski. Kwasinski looking, driving. Easy layup, and it's good. Jordan Kwasinski has 4. De La Salle trying to come down and equalize. Here's Norwood. 3 ball. Air ball. And they're going to say that Clyde Benton pushed off.
Mangan's limping.
Oh, they're going to say Mangan pushed off.
Looks like he did something to his ankle, too. He's having a hard time walking.
Stays in the game nonetheless. De La Salle trouble inbounding. They have to force it and finally get it in. Rayford. Back to Johnson. Johnson to Benton now. Benton jab step. Here's Norwood. Nowhere to go. Guarded by Cunningham. Feeds the post. That's Caldwell. Backdoor cut and the foul. Jamari Norwood ties the game and has a chance to take the lead. They're going to tag Connor Barrett with the foul. That's not good. That's his third. Only with 5 so far in this contest. And with 4:15 left in the third, he's got to be very careful. He doesn't want to pick up a 4th before the 4th quarter. So the free throw from Norwood. Ready with 6 on the day. Not able to take the lead. Cunningham the rebound.
Yeah, Mangan looks like he can't run at all. I'm surprised the coaching staff hasn't noticed it yet.
Hobbling around over there. Gives it back to Cunningham. Will try a 3. Good! Kevin Cunningham for 3. Ramblers back up 3. And the ball thrown out of bounds. Norwood overthrew Johnson. Tried to make his case that it was tipped. The referee's not having it. And Loyola forces a big turnover there. Mangan seems to have improved his condition a little bit. Well, and take that back, he's a little bit slow. It's Cunningham now, easily on Rayford. Gets it over to Rusty. Now Barrett over to Jordan. Jordan, one dribble, and now it's in the corner for Mangan. Here's Barrett, feeds Jordan in the post, pivots, gets it out to Barrett. Mangan wants nothing to do with it. He gets it back though. Mangan thinking about driving, gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham wanted to find Mangan, finds Rusty, kicks it out. Jordan driving baseline. Two won't go. Rebound taken, Norwood. Norwood will push the pace, finds his man. Pinskis through contact lays it up and in.
De La Salle coach upset there wasn't an and one called there.
Was a lot of contact, but nevertheless no call. Mangan to Barrett for three. Off the mark, rebound. Will stay here as it was ruled that De La Salle either a push off or an over the back. And it should go against Clyde Benton.
Team Salle personal foul on number 11, Clyde Benson, his third, team's fifth.
So the Ramblers will inbound. That's 3 on Benton, who has 7 points. What I found incredible is that De La Salle has 5 players who have scored 6 points or more. And we knew that this team didn't necessarily have one standout shooter. Loyola has maybe 2 if you think about Cunningham and Barrett. But this is a very balanced De La Salle team as Mangan lost the ball. Here's Norwood. Norwood blocked by Mangan. Mangan diving on the ground. And Loyola will call timeout. That's an excellent hustle play, Petey Mangan.
30-second timeout, Loyola.
That was a great play and a great timeout, too.
That is what Coach Livatino's program is all about. They keep stats for 50-50 balls won. They keep stats for charges. They keep stats for deflections. They keep stats on just about every intangible category. And Petey Mangan is leading the team in what he calls the iPod, which is the intangible player of the day. And every day in practice, in every game, they compile these stats. It's the intangible stats. It's rebounds, particularly offensive rebounds. It's 50-50 balls, charges, deflections, steals, blocks. And Petey Mangan and Kevin Cunningham are at the top of that iPod list on the team. No one else is even close. And that's just another example of the non-stop grit that is shown by Petey Mangan. He may not be the best skilled player on the court. He certainly can shoot the three when he needs to. He's got the handles. But he's no Kevin Cunningham or Connor Barrett, and he makes up for that and then some with his work ethic. And Loyola is 17-3 on the year, and a lot of that credit goes to the senior leaders like Petey Mangan.
Well put.
Ramblers to inbound now. Cunningham. Press from Johnson wasn't strong enough. As Jordan now gets the ball. Driving now. Almost looked like he walked. In and out was his shot as Norwood takes it the other way, and a foul called on Rusty. So Ramblers' third team foul. De La Salle has 5. Rusty tagged for his first. As the Meteors will inbound now. Norwood over to Johnson. 38-37, Loyola leads with 2:04 left in the third quarter. Good entry pass now. Mangan tried, and they're going to call a foul on Petey Mangan. I can't believe that. He didn't touch Barlow Alaruzo at all.
Looked like he just grabbed the ball to me. He almost had possession of it, it looked like.
It, at the very least, should have been a jump ball. I thought it was a clean steal altogether. And they will tag Mangan with his third foul.
It's probably good for him to get some rest. Silver lining there.
14 foul against the Ramblers. Jordan with some good defense against Alaruzo. And now it's Pinskis. They swing it around left side now. Resetting. Norwood. Goes from left to right. Gives it to Johnson, and they'll find Alaruzo. Alaruzo looked like he may have walked, and they will call it. Loyola forcing another turnover as Kobe Johnson will keep the pressure on full court, as Quinn Pemberton now will take possession for the Ramblers. He's guarded by Norwood, who beats the press, and he's going to drive all the way. Russell, and an offensive foul. Pemberton charged right into Pinskas. And that's his first foul, but it's the Ramblers' 5th foul. So we may be shooting very quickly into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Both teams have 5 though, so it's going to cancel out.
The Ramblers struggling from the free throw line, just 58% on the season. Cunningham is a solid 75%. Barrett is almost at 80%. But the rest of the team really fallen off. John Lynch, 3 for 11 from the line. As we mentioned, Peter Mangan has struggled from the line. So it's not a surefire thing that the Ramblers will make free throws. And they'll call another foul. Rusty apparently reached in. And perhaps I'm being a little too biased here, but I don't know if I saw that much contact.
That one looked like maybe a fair foul to me. The other one, I don't know where they got that from, but that one looked a little more reasonable.
They inbound, and it's off of the knee of Alex Rayford, so a turnover there forced by Quinn Pemberton. He's the defensive specialist Coach Levatino turns to, as it looks like Connor Barrett's coming right back in, as will Bennett Kozinski, taking out Lynch and Rusty respectively. And Mangan will come back in to take Jordan. So they will bring on full court pressure now. 3 Meteor defenders in the front court. Cunningham now over the timeline. Nowhere to go. Skips pass over to Pemberton. And Mangan now trying to reset things. Bennett to Barrett on the left wing. Gives it back up to Bennett. Bennett trying to find a man. Gets Pemberton with 34 left. And the way Coach Levatino runs his offense, this may be the final possession of the 3rd quarter. 28 seconds remaining. Loyola up 1 point. That the bench was assessed a warning, but that was after the foul on Rayford. And that's Rayford's first foul. So at 26 left, you'd have to think that this would be the last possession, but although we saw last week a very similar thing happen, the Ramblers got an offensive rebound, 30 seconds left, and Kevin Cunningham shot immediately. It's Pemberton, strong drive in the lane, and they'll give him the fact that he was shooting. So Abner Muhammad comes into the game, the 5'11 sophomore, number 5 in blue. And it's Pemberton. Makes his first free throw. He's 5 for 6 on the year. Brings his total up to 4 points for this game. Lynch comes back in, as does Jordan. As does Rusty. Pemberton now will shoot his second free throw. Are the Ramblers so confident he'll make it that they're not going to send anyone to try to get the offensive rebound? I guess so, as they've built their lead back up to 3 now, 40-37 on a high-scoring Catholic League affair. 17 seconds left. De La Salle holding for the last shot. Tamari Norwood, who's already got 6 today, trying to direct traffic as we're down to 10. Down to 8 now. 6 seconds. They get the double screen now. Here's a 3 ball. No good. Way short. And with 1.4, Ramblers will have a chance for a heave.
Yeah, they might. I don't think they're going to let them roll it.
Yes, they'll just give it to Cunningham, but he lost it. Norwood did not get the shot off. And we're through 3 frames here in Wilmette, Illinois. Loyola Academy Ramblers with a 40-37 advantage over the De La Salle Meteors. Let's take you into the Catholic League standings here. At the top of the CCL blue is Fenwick. They have not lost in the blue. They're 5-0. Loyola now 4-1 with a win can advance to 5-1. They're second place. DePaul in third with 3-1. And De La Salle in fourth at 2-2. And I think those are the only 4 teams that have a shot at a share or an outright win in the Catholic League. And I say that because De La Salle, while they do only have 2 losses, or they do have 2 losses, the remaining schedule is Loyola and DePaul, as well as Rita and Ignatius. They can very well win out. They'd have some big-time wins. They'd get Loyola their second loss. They'd get DePaul their second loss. And obviously they'd need Fenwick to tank, but they are still in the running. And DePaul and Fenwick, the first and third place teams respectively, are playing each other tonight. Fenwick leads 29-25 at the half. So if you're a Loyola fan, you're cheering for DePaul tonight to give Fenwick that first conference loss. And that would give the Ramblers a share of the lead at both 5-1 with Fenwick. And they just took away the CCL tournament. And so the season will end after 8 division games. And if they're tied, there's no tiebreaker, even though in my biased opinion there should be a tiebreaker because each team plays each other once. So for example, if Loyola and Fenwick are both tied at 1 loss and Loyola beat Fenwick, then Loyola should win the division because they beat Fenwick head to head. But no, they will both share it if that happens as we resume the 4th quarter. So we'll keep our eyes on that DePaul-Fenwick game. Like we said, 29-25 at the halftime to Fenwick up 4. Connor Barrett for 3. It's good!
He had a hand in his face. That was a nice shot.
Nothing phases Connor Barrett when he shoots. He's up to 8 points on the day, 43-37. That's a great way to start the 4th quarter, build up a little bit of momentum because they're going to need it down the stretch. De La Salle works it around. Back over to Alaruzo. Alaruzo finds Pinskis. Had to step back a couple feet to get the ball. Kobe Johnson looking to drive, can't. Tried to find Pinskis. Here's Alaruzo. Back over to Norwood. Norwood finds Pinskis, open 3. That's long. Rebound tipped around. Mangan got it. That was helped out a little bit by Kevin Cunningham. And the Ramblers, with 7 minutes left in this game, up 6, will have a chance to slow things down. Here's Mangan. Mangan finds a wide open Bennett Kwasinski, guarded by Norwood. Couldn't get the layup to roll. He got it back and will put it up and in.
I don't know how he got that rebound.
That's a big time bucket from the Ramblers. And he had a 7-inch height advantage on Norwood, and he couldn't get the first layup to go. But the Ramblers poked it around, got the offensive rebound, and now are up 8. That's short-lived, however, as a foul was called. Benton drew the foul. He'll go to the line with a chance to tighten this gap a little bit.
That's his personal team 7. Shooting foul. Number 11, Clyde Benson, 2 shots.
First free throw rattles out.
Barrett's being taken off. Is that his 4th foul?
If he was just called for that foul, yes, that is his 4th foul.
I thought they called it on Mangan, but I think they would have taken Mangan out.
Either one of them would have 4, as the second free throw rattles home for Benton, who has 8 points tonight. 45-38, 6:16 left in the game. Cunningham finds Rusty, gives it up to Jordan to Quinn. Good move by Pemberton. Rusty finds Kwasinski in the corner. He'll pull it back out as Mangan and Pemberton on the left side. Cunningham, left corner now. Dribble it back, top of the key. And they're going to say he carried the ball. Turnover by the Ramblers there. here. De La Salle hoping to equalize. Take advantage of that opportunity and get closer toward the equalizer. They're down 7 at this point.
Yeah, I think they got to start getting those threes to fall again like we saw at the start of the third quarter.
There's Pinskis, strong finish. The 6'6" senior cuts the lead to 5 now as Jordan. Strong layup, but just a little bit too far off of the rim as Norwood now. Norwood to Pinskis. Back out to Norwood. Here's a 3-ball. Rayford. No good. Fought for. Pinskis saved it, but stolen by Rusty. Gets it up to Quinn. One man to beat now. Takes it, scoops it, and that's an impressive take.
That was a smooth finger roll.
Quinn Pemberton, who's got 7. And that's powerful transition basketball. And she went up and over the defender, Rayford. Skip pass now on the left side. Dribbles it to the top of the key, a good pass. Driving baseline, and Jordan was called for the foul. That's the 8th team foul. So it'll be a 1-and-1. Second on Jordan.
I think he's about to be taken out. Although Connor Barrett was lined up, ready to take him out since that layup attempt that missed. I don't think Coach Latino was happy with that.
On the court for the Ramblers is Barrett, Pemberton, Mangan, Cunningham, and Rusty as the first free throw, the 1-and-1, the front end, was made by Rayford. He has 7 points tonight. And his second free throw bounces around and out as Mangan gets it to Cunningham. Ramblers up 6, 4:40 left in the game. Mangan to the corner now to get it back out Cunningham. Now here's Barrett. Little Rusty, back to Barrett. Cunningham almost had an open shot. Pass him up to Pemberton. Feeds it in. Barrett. Good passing offense for the Ramblers. Mangan. Barrett wanted to shoot. Can't. Pemberton. Even though this is a good defensive possession for De La Salle, the Ramblers still aren't forcing anything as Mangan going to take it. Draws the foul. And he'll shoot 2.
De La Salle personal foul number 23, David Pinskis. His 3rd team.
You know, they didn't give up a basket. They might give up a couple points here, but Loyola just bumped a ton off the clock. So 40-second possession.
I think the Meteors called timeout. Tom White wanted to talk things over. 4:07 left in this big Catholic League matchup. As we alluded to earlier, the Ramblers would improve to 5-1 in the league. Other games going on this weekend. In the blue, Brother Rice taking on St. Joe's down in Westchester. Brother Rice 2-3 in the conference, St. Joe's 2-2. We mentioned the Fenwick Hall game. And we will keep you informed on the score of that. Obviously this game, the crossover action, St. Ignatius, who is 0-4 in the league, at Providence St. Mel tonight. Earlier this week, in the blue, St. Rita defeated Mount Carmel 68-59. Mount Carmel now 0-5 in the division. St. Rita up to 2-2. The Ramblers' only Catholic League loss was to St. Rita, and that was 33-30 in what was just kind of a shocking game and really unprecedented. And the Ramblers, I'm sure, would have liked to have that one back. But here they are at 4-1, 17-3 overall. They're ranked 9th in the Chicago area rankings as Petey Mangan heads to the line to shoot the first of 2. He sinks it. He's got 7 points. We mentioned earlier how balanced opponents been, but the Ramblers have also been very balanced scoring. With 7. Make it 8. Those were 2 big free throws from Petey Mangan, and a lead back up to 8 for Loyola. 49-41. Still have 4 minutes to play. De La Salle working their way around. It's Kobe Johnson. Rayford, guarded by Lynch. Johnson almost wanted Rayford. Will find Benton. Benton on Lynch. Benton lost the ball. Pemberton dives on the ground, gets it to Cunningham. That's a big-time hustle play from the Ramblers, and we just haven't seen that kind of effort matched by De La Salle tonight.
I think we got an interesting race between Pemberton and Mangan for the chain tonight.
Both have been crucial in keeping the Ramblers ahead defensively. It's Pemberton now will slow things down. 3:17 left, and they're going to try to foul. Fouling John Lynch, which may be a pretty wise move. He's 3 for 11 from the line this year.
Yeah, I understand where they're coming from, but there's 3:14 left. It seems a little questionable. Maybe wait another minute or so, but
Loyola does have a reputation of just wearing down the clock. And I think if you get an opportunity to foul someone like Lynch, he makes the first. That was a big free throw, and his first points of the night.
De La Salle coach looks a little befuddled. That went in.
So statistically, this one shouldn't go in, but Lynch will shoot it and break away. As Loyola's lead 9 at this point, 3:10 left in the game. 50-41, offensive battle. And at the same time, defense is going to be critical these last couple minutes. Norwood lays it up and in, the lead cut to 7.
They're playing some hard press.
The point guard with 8 as Mangan now will be guarded by Norwood. And they're going to foul Mangan. Once again, not the dumbest of fouls there. Didn't take up much time off the clock. Still a 1-and-1.
I don't know if that one was intentional, actually.
And it was, you got to start playing a little more aggressive. Loyola's had a few turnovers tonight, but if you put the pressure on, make them feel the heat a little bit, maybe they'll cough it up. As Mangan heads to the line, and it's the double bonus, so he'll get 2 shots. First one is up and through. Ramblers with 18 fouls of their own, so De La Salle still in the single bonus, should that occur. As Mangan's second free throw left it short, but still to get one and to make it an 8-point game was big. As Johnson now, Rambler faithful getting into it. They've been loud all night. There's a corner 3, tough shot from Robert Sickius. They get a chance for Sickius again. No again. Fought for, Lynch diving, can get it, Lynch gets it, he wants timeout, they're gonna call a jump ball before they could get the timeout. And the possession arrow will stay with De La Salle.
I think Coach Livatino was about a second too late on the timeout call. It would have been a good call though. They still got 3 left.
It seemed like Lynch from the ground was trying to call a timeout, but he was tied up with the ball. It was hard for him to kind of signal to the referee that that's what he wanted. As De La Salle keeps possession now. Johnson up to Muhammad. Sizing up Krasuski driving. Muhammad, Johnson, tipped away, and a charge. A charge taken by the senior John Lynch. With 2:12 left in this game, that is a big momentum boost for the Ramblers.
Hustle chain maybe just became a 3-horse race.
That's right. As the Ramblers will have to break this full court press. There's not a single player past the half-court line.
I think we might see a deep ball here.
You got to be careful. De La Salle, much taller team than the Ramblers. As they look to double team Cunningham. Cunningham's got to get it over the line. Mangan now gets it over. And here's Barrett slowing things down.
That was smart put in the hands of Barrett. He's their best free throw shooter.
Barrett looks, draws the foul, so he'll go to the line with 1:56 left.
You got to think De La Salle doesn't want Kevin Cunningham or Connor Barrett to touch the ball at all. They can't foul him.
Absolutely. As a couple subs coming back into the game for the Ramblers. Coach Livatino very fluid with the subs tonight. Usually he'll make substitutions here and there, but it seems like every other possession there's a different guy coming in. Barrett's first free throw rattles home. The 6'3" junior has 9 points so far tonight. but more importantly, he increases Loyola's lead tonight. 52-43. Second shot on the way, rims out. As De La Salle takes it. Norwood, and they're going to say he was going to the hoop. They're going to give him a shooting foul, it looks like, as
That was more a charge than anything, but I suppose I'm wrong.
or if anything, a foul on the ground. I don't know if, But importantly for De La Salle is the clock stops and you have the opportunity to get some points, and that's what they need. First free throw, short.
You know, I know we've commented on some fouls or lack thereof, but I think these refs have done a good job tonight.
They've been pretty consistent, which is always good. We've had some pretty good referees here in the Chicago Catholic League. Norwood's second free throw is good. And they'll have to inbound to Rusty, who gets it immediately back. And Cunningham, with a couple seconds to spare, gets it over the timeline. Mangan now with 1:38. Almost took it away, and timeout called by Coach Silvatino. And that was smart because it almost could have been a travel. It seemed like he picked up his pivot foot, but Ramblers have now 2 left, so it was wise to use it. 95 seconds left in the game. They're up 8, and all they got to do is make some free throws and play some defense and don't foul defensively. Some of the statistics, Cunningham with 9, as well as Mangan, as well as Barrett. So each of those players has 9. Brandon Kwasinski leading all scorers with 13 tonight. He's just been too big, too fast, and too strong. Jordan, his brother, has 4, and John Lynch added a free throw, and that's how we're at 52 tonight. So lots of different scores. And then from De La Salle, it's the same deal. Norwood with 9. Pinskis with 9, Alaruza with 8, Benton with 8, Rayford with 7, and Johnson with a triple, and they've got 44. And as much as this has favored the Ramblers in this game, I am surprised that it's so high scoring.
Yeah, you've seen most of Loyola's games in the 30s. De La Salle doesn't seem like an offensive powerhouse. They're more of a, defensive, slower team like Loyola. So this is a surprise.
Absolutely. As Barrett now gets the inbound, and he's going to drive, and he'll kick. Mangan to Pemberton. Pemberton looking. Rusty to Mangan, and he could have laid it in if he wanted to, but he refrained. 1:18 left, and Barrett is fouled. That's Edmund Muhammad with his second penalty, putting Connor Barrett at the line. They split a pair earlier. Ramblers, we've seen this trend here. They don't put any of their own guys in the lane, presumably to get back on defense, as Barrett's first free throw is good. He joins the double-figure club with 10.
De La Salle can't be happy about the ball seemingly being in Connor Barrett's hands every time they have a good opportunity for a foul.
Barrett will shoot his second free throw. If he makes it, John Lynch will sub into the game for him. And he does. So Lynch, one of the most trusted defenders on the squad. And they give up an easy three-point opportunity. And that's an offensive foul. Kobe Johnson pushed off. And it's not an official charge, but which means that the Ramblers will be sent to the line. Petey Mangan with an opportunity to build on Loyola's 10-point lead with 1:12 left in the game. It was Benton's fourth foul. He's got 8 points tonight as Mangan gets set for his first free throw. left it short.
Substitution, Cody Johnson.
The only piece of advice Coach Levatino had for Petey Mangan was shoot the ball. After seeing that first miss, he said, shoot it. See if that had any merit. Seems to have worked there as Mangan now with 10 of his own. They'll roll the ball down 11. Tipped, taken away Lynch. Lynch to Cunningham. Cunningham with 1:05 and he's fouled. Kobe Johnson had to tag him with a foul as the Ramblers are picking up steam and pulling away with this game.
Cody Johnson. His fourth personal, Kevin Cunningham, and the double bonus shooting 2.
Cunningham's first free throw good. And what do you know? He's got 10. Second free throw good, so his 11 points trails only the Baker's dozen of 13 from Bennett. And what a hustle play from Lynch. Still was able to disrupt any sort of offense. We're under a minute now. Ramblers up 13. Norwood kicks it out. Johnson for 3. Rims out. And Norwood got the rebound despite being pushed. And it's going to go down.
You know, I think Kevin's free throw there just about iced it. It's a 13-point deficit now, so 4 threes wouldn't even get you there. I think that was a huge free throw.
5-possession game. And Coach Levatino was not super pleased with the first half, but he's got to be excited about the effort his guys are showing. Lynch knocks down a free throw.
Ramblers are heating up from the straight tonight.
You know, they really are. And that's a testament to the work ethic and just dedication overall. They've improved their numbers slightly from the beginning of the year.
I think we jinxed them.
Yeah, we must have. That's the old announcer jinx. And another tip ball. Mangan now. That was helped out by Pemberton, who had the deflection.
I think you got away with the travel right there.
We're under 40 to go. Cunningham finds Rusty, who was shoved in the back. No call. Mangan, who was grabbed. Cunningham. And they will call a foul. And that's Rayford's second.
I think they're delaying the inevitable at this point, unfortunately.
30.1 to go. Mangan has 2 shots ahead of him. Ramblers up 58-44. First free throw is good.
Putting some of the reserves in that don't see much action, which is nice to see.
Nico Landon into the game, who had, and as well as Billy McCormick. And those guys have been incorporated a little bit into the last couple games. As Mangan gets the shooter's touch, and he'll check out in favor of Armani Dixon. So Mangan finishes with 12. And Dixon, the 6'4" junior, we'll get to see some action. The Ramblers have put up 60 on De La Salle. Here's a 3 from Rayford.
Oh.
Good.
Field goal, number 25, Alex Rayford. Timeout call on the floor. Full timeout.
De La Salle called a timeout after they made that to cut it to 13.
It's been like a 25-minute fourth quarter.
Really has been a lot of stoppages of play. As we'll give you an update here on the DePaul-Fenwick game. The Friars in front of DePaul 43-39, so that game's still very close. 7 minutes left in the game. And our game will likely end well before theirs, but
You never know with the way the quarter's gone.
if you're a Rambler fan listening at home, we need DePaul to make a comeback. Give Fenwick their first conference loss and give Loyola a chance to win the conference even outright. The Ramblers' remaining schedule in the conference after De La Salle next Friday, they go down to Kankakee. They got to play at Bishop Back. It's a crossover game, so it won't count in the standings. But in the next 2 weeks, they're at St. Joe's down in Westchester. And then the matchup that I think everyone's been waiting for, Loyola versus Fenwick, February 16th. Mark your calendars right here in the East Gym. That game very well could decide who the Catholic League champion is. De La Salle, after this, has to go down to DePaul next Friday. And they have St. Rita and St. Ignatius at home. As Armani Dixon was fouled, and so he'll have an opportunity to get some points. Coach Livatino threw back his head as if he can't believe that this game is still going on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here.
In the double bonus, Armani Dixon, 2 shots.
Chris Hughes will check in for the Ramblers after Dixon's free throw in and out. Hughes will come get Lynch, and that's a really solid performance from John Lynch. Didn't have much on the score sheet. 2 free throws was all, but had some huge hustle plays down the stretch. As Dixon sinks his second free throw to get him on the score sheet. 61-47, 20 seconds left. Norwood. And Dixon draws the charge. End-to-end player, Armani Dixon. And the whole bench is fired up.
I don't think that's going to get him the chain, but it just shows how hard everyone's working.
John Wren, the junior from Northside, gets in the game as Hughes will inbound. Hughes, looking for somebody, finds Landon
Finally
with
not
16.
fouling. Thank God.
As Hughes now still waiting, still hasn't crossed the timeline, and he's got to get that over. And Landon now with 7. They get Dixon, and Dixon lays it up and in. And that should end it. That's a big Catholic League statement from the Loyola Academy Ramblers. The final from Wilmot, Loyola 63, De La Salle 47. And the Ramblers improve to 18-3 overall, 5-1 in the conference. That's all we have, folks. TJ Lindstrom, George Caston, Matthew Benzo, Peter Tillman, and Andy Payton. Terrific job as always. And my color guy, Peter Schwartz, I'm Luke Phillips saying so long from Wilmette, Illinois. The Loyola Academy Ramblers win, and they will improve to 5-1 in the conference. Once again, the final score 63-47. Have a good night, everybody.